click one last button to make sure I go live properly. Okay, now we should be good to go. Let me see what parts actually came through before I. Okay, so again, we're in week six. Week six is all about search, right? And so this is kind of when we're moving beyond analytics and optimization. And right now we're talking about search engine optimization, search advertising, and then there's a nice discussion about search ads up on the Amazon search ads and how that's working. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. Um, Looks like the stream is working perfectly. Okay, so yeah, so all about search. So watch the 6 week videos on search. Those are 1 through 7. You do have to turn in your individual conceptual assignment on Wednesday, February 12th by 11:55 p.m. And then you read over the Amazon search ads article and comment on Top Hat. And then the recommended reading for this week is chapters 8 and 11. Um, there's also, by the way, I posted a bonus link last week I wanted to mention about because it's in the analytics section because about manipulating ranking charts. And part of the reason why I posted that last week is because it's kind of about how you can take analytics to an extreme to the point where there's some kind of gray hat and black hat techniques out there that people have been applying in this space. Okay. So I wanted to mention that briefly before we dive into this week. This week will be a little bit shorter than normal in terms of the office hours, just because the fact that there is no reading to cover this week because you have the conceptual assignment. But I will be discussing conceptual assignment questions and the project introduction questions as well. All right. Um, okay. Um, Let's see. Oh, yeah, and just for those of you watching at home live, make sure you answer your standard disclaimer. Make sure and answer your questions earlier. Ask your questions earlier because we'll be because there's sometimes a delay between when I get them and there always is a delay between when I get them. So don't want to hang up while you're asking a question. Okay. Um, so let's talk about some questions I've gotten about the conceptual assignment, right? So I got a couple questions about the question number. Let me make sure I get the number right. I believe it's number 2, but it's the question about what are the different revenue sources. Pulling it up real quick to make sure I get it right. Uh, Hold on 1 second. Yes, it's number 2. Describe and evaluate 3 methods for WhatsApp to earn revenue. Which method would provide the greatest benefit to advertisers? The first half of that question, people have asked if there's something specific they're supposed to look at. And the answer is yes. You should look at the Wall Street Journal reading that is attached to this assignment, right? The 3 methods are outlined in that reading. Not in a whole lot of detail, but they are outlined. And I want you to kind of explore those 3 methods and then answer and justify which method you think would provide the greatest benefit to advertisers, right? So that question I've had a couple of times, so I want to make sure I covered that. Another question that someone had was, is there one right answer that is there one right answer for the for each of the questions? And the answer is there. Most of them don't have one right answer. There are a few answers. I want to see more of your thought process that goes into that, right? There are correct and there are wrong answers. I don't want to say that all answers are right in any sense, but several of them do have multiple answers that would be acceptable, right? Just got a question coming in about the conceptual assignment. Michelle says the email you sent said turn in assignment by 11:55 p.m. on Thursday. Oops, if I said that that was incorrect. February 12th is Wednesday, so that's right. Where did it say Thursday? I'm trying to find that. Oh, maybe I know where it might be. Okay, hold on. Yes, sorry. That is incorrect. I will, I'll repost that, Michelle, just to make it obvious because that should have been wrong. I changed the date, but forgot to change the day of the week in it. So I will reply to that immediately after I get off this call and say Wednesday, not Thursday, right? So I apologize for that. That was incorrect. Forgot to change the day of the week. If you look below on the list, it says turn in the individual conceptual assignment due on February 12th. So the date is correct everywhere. It's just the day of the week was incorrect. So I will clarify that. And the final arbiter for this is always Moodle itself. If you go to the project assignment in Moodle, it will always tell you um, the correct day that it is due, and I've updated those dates appropriately. So that should all be correct. Okay. Um, let's see. And I'll double check that real quick, but that should be true. Let's just make sure while we're at it that everything is set up correctly. If you go down to assignments, if you go to conceptual assignment, it shows the due date as Wednesday, February 12th at 11:55 p.m. That is correct. Okay. So that's always the arbiter in those spaces. Sorry for the confusion, and I'll shoot out a small email clarifying that just to make sure everyone's aware that it's actually due on Wednesday and not Thursday. All due dates for this class this semester are always Wednesday. I just always keep it the same as whatever the last day I'm teaching that semester is, and so it's Wednesday this semester. Um, so other than that, there's not a whole lot else going on. There was a question that came up about Top Hat, and so I want to kind of quickly mention that. So some people have had trouble finding the Top Hat links, and they're unfortunately because of the way Top Hat works, where you have to sign on to NC State to get access to it. There's no way for me to post like a direct link all the way in. But if you go to tophat.com and you search for the school, and you have to remember that the school in Top Hat, don't search for North Carolina, search for NC space state. You should be able to sign on that way. I'll try and see if there's a way for me to post a better link, but I haven't been able to find one yet. But that question has come up a couple of times. And there was a request to start embedding the Top Hat link into the announcement. I can easily embed the link to tophat.com. As I said, right now I can't figure out a way to embed a link directly to the question itself. But I will look into that and see if there's any better way to make that content available to you. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that's most of the questions that came back. We the way the way the way that so the one other thing I wanted to mention is that we are in the process of grading the introduction assignments. My hope, and I have to talk to the TA about this, but my hope is to get those back to you in no more than like another week from now, all right? But still plenty of time to get them back before you have to turn in your situation analysis. So that's the big goal as to that. Um, so just keep working on the search, work on the read over the Amazon comment on Top Hat, and most importantly, be working on your conceptual assignments. Uh, Trying to think there. That's all the questions that I have gotten about the conceptual assignment, and I don't think I have anything else to talk about today. So hopefully you're all making a lot of progress on the assignment. It's fairly self under explanatory. As I mentioned at the top, just to reiterate, right? When it asks for the three revenue sources, I'm looking for the three revenue sources that are talked about in the Wall Street Journal article that's attached to it. That's kind of to look in there. The one other thing I was going to mention, oh, there was one other question I got. I got a question about formatting for the conceptual assignment. There's no need to use a particular set of formatting, as long as you stay consistent. I don't want you to like be changing formatting. Someone also asked, do you need to repeat the questions in the document you're turning in? I mean, if you want to, that's fine. I do, however, need them delineated. So one, question one, question two, answer two, however it is. Unlike the group project where it's more of a narrative, this is supposed to be more of a question and answer type of assignment, right? Um, uh, those, I think, are all the questions I've gotten about the assignment. And so, um, unless there are any other questions from the online, I think that's it. So, yeah, just recapping this week, watch the search videos, work on the conceptual assignment, um, look forward to getting your feedback about the introduction, right? And comment on the Amazon search article that's the reading for the week on Top Hat. Thanks, everybody. And next week we'll have a little longer discussion because we'll be discussing the Amazon search article, and so the office hour will be a little longer next week. Um, Take care, and I will talk to you in a week.